ocean of stars. Who first gazed up at it, dreamt that it held the key to humanity's future. How vast the universe must have seemed to them, unending and eternal, filled with infinite possibility. But if only those dreamers knew what I know now, that humankind harbors a voracious hunger, one not even the limitless cosmos can sate.
Once more, we venture into the great star ocean. Ahoy everyone! My name is Bowie, and courtesy of Square-Enix, I have been lucky enough to get some early access and hands-on time with Star Ocean: The Divine Force, the 6th main series installment of the now 26-year-old Star Ocean series. Now before I begin, I would like to clarify that this is a sponsored video by Square-Enix. I have been paid to cover this game, so thank you very much to them for this opportunity. However, despite that fact, all of the opinions within this video are my own. So, let's crack on. If you don't know anything about Star Ocean, simply put, it's a science fantasy action JRPG from the minds at Tri-Ace, makers of Valkyrie Profile and Resonance of Fate. But it's not just any action JRPG. I'm here to tell you just how Star Ocean is probably the best RPG you've never played. Why do I say this? Well, the series began in July 1996 when Star Ocean first released on the Super Famicom in Japan, and only Japan. This original game never made its way to the West, but the game would eventually come West with a remake, Star Ocean First Departure, which released on the PSP in 2007, 11 years after its initial release. But the series, however, did of course come west with Star Ocean: The Second Story in 1998 on the original PlayStation. This game is a fan favourite, expanding upon the original's varied action combat, personal actions and open-ended party systems. Now to note with The Second Story is that its main overarching narrative had two perspectives. The hero, Claude, and the heroine, Raina, could be chosen, one or the other, from which to see the story out. And this became the dual protagonist system, as Star Ocean: The Divine Force is looking to continue. By selecting either Raymond or Leticia, you can see the events of the story unfold from their two viewpoints. Now obviously their openings set the scene incredibly differently, but even various mid-game moments will be delivered from one of those two perspectives, and you're left to wonder, and eventually discover, by playing the other character, what goes on the other side.
Ray, you mind coming with me to the infirmary? Alone?
To do what, though?
Just the usual work is all. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
What could they possibly be doing at the infirmary?
Whatever it is, I have a bad feeling about it.
This nuanced nature of storytelling allows you to get the sense of seeing and feeling the story from the perspective of either that developing or advanced viewpoint, creating two versions of the narrative with differing experiences and knowledge. The narratives tend to deal with intrigue, excitement, and of course the fallout that comes when advanced civilizations interfere with the evolution of developing planets and societies. Gotta wonder though, how did Ray end up on Asta 4?
For real though, you've gotta relax. Look how quiet it is out there. Huh?
Oh. And now it's time for Star Ocean to shine. As an action RPG, it's important to get one thing right, and this series is a best-in-class action experience. Say whatever you like about the narratives, they're not for everyone. They're not all face melters, but there's one thing Star Ocean perfects, and that's gameplay. This series knows how to fight. Always expanding and refining its mechanics, whilst you'll see some things elsewhere, it simply hits differently when piloting a Star Ocean character. The Divine Force allows for extended movement options, with Duma slinging you left, right and centre as you vie for that opening to unleash your most devastating moves. The first game introduced range-sensitive arts that encouraged the player to consider spacing and positioning instead of just mashing away, and powerful spells that would freeze time, giving the player a little breathing room and a chance to plan. Star Ocean: The Last Hope introduced the blindside mechanic, where you could confuse your opponents and guarantee crits as you wailed away with arts and the all-new extended normal attack chaining. 1, 2, 3, rise up, and aerial. Awesome. Seamless spell casting and chain combo cancelling for extra art potency, as well as customizable in-battle bonus boards, started in Star Ocean 3 till the end of time, and became a series standard. Then Star Ocean 5, Integrity and Faithlessness, allowed us to go all in with the entire 7-strong cast, getting in on every scrap. A truly delicious frenzy. You could also cash in those bonus gauges in 5 for powerful rush arts that blow the enemy away with dazzling attacks and effects. Oh crikey, I forgot the bosses. These are a sweet opportunity to flex your ability. Maybe bring out your biggest moves and largest hit combos for some massive damage, or precisely target weak points to deal increased damage, or open the boss up to a flurry of attacks without being able to answer back. The Divine Force is also starting to change up some fundamentals, like with our new character Nina, our support healer, who can only target her allies, making for a unique and nuanced playstyle within the support role. The sense of pace, intensity, and payoff grows as your characters reach unknown heights, much like the universe itself. This growth all comes from the skill tree and the chain combo system, where chain combo used to be a passive skill. Chain combo used to be a passive skill you'd have to enhance to unlock more combos and cancels. However, in the Divine Force, it is the very bread and butter of the combat. With 3 chain options for triangle, R1 and R2, as well as a hold, you can place up to 12 different actions, including arts, battle skills, and even items, for use outside of menus that would— Bunny! Ruddy hell, sorry. Menus that would pause the action. The bunnies are back. Anyway, back to chain combos. Arts, including your VA skills, take up differing amounts of AP, those green nodes towards the center of the screen. That's right, MP is gone. The AP count starts at 5, but can increase if you're playing well, but you get punished for getting hurt or KO'd by losing that AP as well. The game heavily encourages and rewards you for learning its systems and executing accordingly. No more will MP bar your imagination in combat, but keeping that consistency will be its own challenge. Having to fight with only 5 AP is rather limiting, as you can imagine, so make sure to play effectively, and don't end up like me, recording this boss fight. Didn't help that I was fighting the boss at level 8 when you should be about 13 to 15, but that didn't end well, I can tell you now. And no, I don't want to talk about how much health it had left. Ah, Welch. What an absolutely joyful, chaotic mess. Welcome back. With super advanced civilizations meeting humans in a comparative state of infancy, item creation is a really fascinating element of the series. It's had different feels depending on the title as well, most notably Until the End of Time, being able to completely shatter the difficulty with knowledge and effective item creation, and The Last Hope, which brought an interesting approach of discovering recipes as well as making them up on the fly with which to create. It's always great having medieval knights and priests making custom EMP bombs or lightsabers. The Divine Force takes an old school approach. Choose a type of creation, compounding, smithing, alchemy, etc. Select a character, check their perks, then get creating. Depending on the character, their skill, and their level with that type of item creation, you'll be able to achieve different results, so make sure you're defeating enemies, searching chests, and buying materials from shops with which to increase your chances of making some quality product. I really could go on about so much more, as there's just so much to love throughout this series. I haven't even begun talking in detail about the aforementioned open-ended party system. I'll briefly cover it now though. Star Oceans 1 to 3 had more recruitable characters than you could fit in the whole party. So you could actually recruit completely different characters based on how you interact with them, the side quests you clear, the personal actions you do, or if your party was full. Easiest to explain is getting Sires or Ashley in Star Ocean 1. If you immediately recruit Sires at the start of the game after doing his side quest, you cannot recruit Ashley when you meet him at Astral's Coliseum. They both fit similar roles, but have vastly different aptitudes and skills, and this openness incentivizes critical thinking, planning, patience, or even multiple playthroughs. I honestly didn't have the time during the making of this video to play the Divine Force far enough to know if this returns, but from the character lists I've seen, I'm feeling hopeful. And my full playthrough begins immediately once this is live anyway, so I'll find out shortly enough. Star Ocean turned 25 years old last year, and this game feels like that 25th anniversary love letter fully realised. The Divine Force builds upon so much that has come before it and is full of not just mechanical nods, but Easter eggs as well, like the figure accessories of previous Tri-Ace characters from all the Star Ocean games, yes, but also the Deluxe Edition bonuses include Radiata stories and Valkyrie profile characters too. Star Ocean as a series has always been one that had so much potential and quality, but wasn't the most well known. They of course have some issues. I know that a lot of people critique the narratives, and sometimes the graphics, and some I agree with and some I don't, but Star Ocean isn't just about story. It's about game feel, aesthetics, theming, music, vision, and fun. I cannot stress that last one enough either. The Star Ocean games are just so bloody fun to play, and I'll never stop loving them, no matter their flaws. It's a true joy to have Star Ocean back, and whilst I'm not that far through just yet, I have a seriously good feeling about this combat system, these characters, and the story that will come from them all. Star Ocean has generally always been in the shadows of others, but it's nowhere near lacking in the quality, fun factor, and depth of mechanics to keep you coming back. It has everything you need for it to be a series you return to, again and again. Oh, before I go, I'd just like to point out one tiny Easter egg that I really love. So the 6 games' main protagonists have curiously had alternating hair colours. Blue, blonde, blue, etc. It seems like a cute trend, fits within the release order. And now, if we check the chronological space date years that the games are set in, it still checks out. Raymond's sitting neatly between Fidel and Fate. It's like it was planned or something. I don't know, it's silly, but I just enjoy it. What can I say? Once again, I'd like to thank Square-Enix for sponsoring me. It's a true honour to cover a series that I love so much that, well, let's just say it means a lot to have it finally return. And that's why I think Star Ocean is the best JRPG you've probably never played. So why don't you start here? It's never too late to begin.